Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine, and it's time for the Riveting Sketch with me. I appreciate all of you who voted on my community tab here, and it's kind of interesting, but I was able to pick a sketch related to the sketch booklet and also from 2021. So, this one is one of our December 2021 bonus sketches. And if you all watched my C's Please diamond layout, this is where I found it. So, kind of something I did not too long ago, but it had 3 bonus sketches from December 2021. And I thought, this kind of hits on all the points that y'all voted on. It kind of lets me have a little freedom to pick. And while I'm enjoying working from the sketchbook, I kind of almost wanted to go a little bit longer. Many of y'all know that I do have another move coming this summer. My husband is active duty Army, and I want to be able to film as many of those Sketch With Me challenges before we get on the road. So hopefully I will still have 2 videos coming out every week for you while I'm moving this time instead of having a little bit of dead space that I did last year. And this way I can still answer comments. I just probably won't be able to live stream from the road again, but we will figure that out when the time comes and it'll all work out. Remember, I did make up one of the virtual crop challenge months after we arrived, so wound up working out well enough, I think. Anyways, let's get on to this challenge. I'm sure y'all are wondering what I picked for riveting. Here we go. Okay, here it is. So this one is number 2. Y'all can see the number 2 here. And look at this. This is the other benefit of my picking something that can be printed out, because I can use my pen and hold it up for y'all. I always try to write what mat sizes I use. I actually do have a note about where I'm going to be placing my strip going across the page. And I'm going to talk you through all of it as usual. I kind of like the riveting collection. It's fun. Maybe because I'm a wannabe home DIYer. I love the HGTV channel. I don't know who doesn't. Y'all can put what your favorite show is in the comments if you want. Mine, I like Hometown. And I like the one that they did in Detroit, but of course I'm blanking on the name of that one right now. I just thought that was really cool that they worked on so many homes in a city that really needed it, and they showed it. And I also enjoyed watching a lot of the Good Bones episodes, but I will say that their last season wasn't my favorite. So, let me know what your favorite DIY show is. You might give us all a new show to check out coming up. All right, so back to the sketch here. It's been one of those mornings where I feel like I'm been a little bit all over the place. I am feeling much better. Thank you all for being patient with me. I'm still a little congested, but I feel like I am mostly over the cold and at least kind of getting back to my regular routine here. Our base pages are going to be these blueprint pages. I just thought these are really kind of fun. We're going to use the same one on both sides. It has the bolts on the back side of it. So that's going to be both our right and left side of the page. We are going to start on the left side first, as usual. And then I also am going to be working with the paper that had the tools on it, mixed tools, that has the metal scratched up look on the back side of it. I am using also the ruler measuring tape. It was the measuring tape paper. Hey, I actually remember the paper name. This one had like the crinkled paper look almost on the back side of it. Another one that's hard to see in the camera. And then I do have quite a few mats. I will show you all the mats when I get to them. I also pulled out a piece of my Starry Night cardstock, and I'm going to show you where that's going to fit. I don't know if that was one of the ones on the suggested cardstock sheet, but you know, wouldn't be the first time I've gone off script. So why not this time? I'll have to look, but maybe not right now. I'll check before the end of the video. How's about that? Okay. So this piece is, I cut two of these at 3.5 inches by 12 inches. And I'm not completely sure if this paper is directional. Oh, it is actually. Okay. So this paper is directional. So make sure when you're cutting it, turn it sideways because you can see otherwise your drills are going to be upside down and your hammers. So there we go. It's a good thing I thought to look. We are going to place this one 4.25 inches from the bottom of the page, so which is also 1 3/4 inches off the center, because remember we do have a 3.5 inch strip. And so to center it on our zero centering ruler, 1 3/4 is the center of our 3.5 inch strip. Go figure. You know, sometimes these things, there's a method to some of the madness here. So now we can move our ruler aside for now, because again, we're working on the left side of the page. And on our sketch, okay, so I want to show you the sketch. So what I did was, you know, I took a single page. I'm making a 2-page layout because I find that those are more welcome. You use more double page layouts in your scrapbooks. Occasionally I'll do a single when I feel like I want a title page or an end page for a book, but this one just said, you know, hey, stretch me out. Let's make you into a 2-page layout. So I pulled a little bit more from this top left and then this bottom right here with my measuring tape strips. And then we'll be adding in our mats, and you'll see as I go through. I do adjust a couple of them, but I did cut strips, amazingly enough. I just didn't cut them this long. So, and this one was before they put measurements on the sketches, and I don't know, maybe I almost liked it better then. I mean, you could add an extra sheet, and here you can see where they have like an outline where they had put another piece of paper there, but I have the blog post linked in the description box, and y'all can follow to see what they came up with for the blog and how and what they cut for theirs. I always try to simplify it a little bit. And let's put some larger pictures on the page, although I did cut my Starry Night shimmer into a 4x4 mat because it fit better with my 1 inch by 6 inch pieces. So I have 6 of these, and it just, because, you know, you have a 12-inch sheet of paper, I really wanted to just keep it a little bit simpler. And one of the other things I did was I cut off the end of the page just to kind of make it a little bit more even. And then I did want to have the entire piece of the measuring part showing. So what I did was I actually cut an extra 1/16 of an inch in between these strips, and I'm going to start at 1/4 of an inch, and I want to space these about 1/4 of an inch. So let's see, did I just move that a little bit? I think I did. So here is 3/4, here's a half. Oh no, that might actually be more than I want. Oh, it looks good. Okay. This is, I'm so not used to measuring that maybe it's just throwing me off a little bit. Go figure. I'm so used to eyeballing it. Okay, so there's the half. Here's the 1/4. Okay. And then maybe this is why I am not good at the DIY thing, because what do they say? Measure twice, cut once. Sometimes Catherine cuts 3 or 4 times with her paper. Just, you know. Not necessarily. I work with a lot of what I have and scraps and try to, you know, be functional with my paper, and I guess, I don't know, super not. I mean, I have some scraps, but we make the cards. So I am frugal, but maybe not as frugal as others, but I definitely don't create a ton of extra scraps as well. How's about that? Okay, so we have our initial look to our page. One of, let's see, I had 4.5 by 6.5 mats I pulled from our mat pack, and I have 2 4 by 6 mats. So we're going to, each page is going to have one of the 4x4s in the Starry Night Shimmer. That's going to go up here with our lines, our measuring tape pieces. I have my title is going to be one of our 4x6 mats this time because the colors just worked too good for me. And you know, I love color. I really think about color a lot. I am a chef by education and training and a food scientist as well. And the color matters to me a lot. And I like to have colors that work well on a page. And this just went wonderfully. So our the 4x6 was this one. You got my color lecture. It has the same saying on the back side. Living through home renovation is like living in the wild. And of course, you can cover this up if you want when you get your pictures and you need an extra spot, or you can always throw your a second photo this way. And I'll show you that coming up as well. Because like I said, I'm a little bit all over the place today. Forgive me. Here are your 4.5 by 6.5 mats. I have a blue and I have a yellow. And we have companion ones for the other side of the page. So this is where your 4x6 photos are going to be going onto your page, and then the 4x4 mat up here. So you can add another photo here. You can even stretch your photo down beyond the mat. I do that a lot. I am going to be showing one of my albums soon. And y'all can see how I scrapbook a little bit because I make so many layouts for my channel. It makes it nice when I go to put them in my book. But sometimes, I have mats in places that don't always seem to work for a photo maybe, or may not work for other people's photos, but for mine, I don't color in lines anyways, so I don't always follow precisely where these mats are on my page. And I will show you all that. And I know I've shown you in a couple of my other videos as well, but sometimes it's nice just to see an actual finished page with my journaling and everything on it also. Oh, who else flips over cardstock? Raise your hand. I think we all do it. Sometimes I don't, but 9 times out of 10, we pretty much do. So this one's going to be kind of centered-ish, I guess, if you will. I do want to have this little bit of space in between here. And something is crooked and throwing it off for me here. Maybe not. Let me look on the thing. Okay, nope, looks better than what I thought it was. Okay, so this is it. This is our left side of the page. We can easily fit another photo here. You'll have one here, you'll have one here, you'll have one here. You can easily fit one here. It's going to be a skinnier photo, but it'll still work, or you can just leave that space open on that side of the page. Let's do the right side of the page, and then I am going to finish this one off, and maybe I'll talk a little more about where else you can add photos. So we have the same strip going across this other side of the page. And again, we're going to start 4.5 inches from the bottom of the page, or 1 3/4 of an inch on your 0 centering ruler, which makes it easy to have it going across your page. Now, remember what I said about in the sketch, we're going to stretch things out a little bit through the page. So I did actually, hey, look at this. My title actually did wind up on this this side of our left page, and we did have our little measuring tapes here. And so now on this side, we're going to follow through and put our measuring tapes down on this bottom right side of the page. Every once in a while, I do follow one, don't I? Ish. I guess ish is the key. I mean, it is. It's the sketches are ideas. Hopefully, I'm giving you all ideas for your pages as well. I definitely don't expect you to do exactly what I'm doing. You need to work with what you have and what works for your pages and your photos as well. All right. So 3 more of our 6" by 1" pieces of the measuring tape. And I have the larger lines going towards the top of the page on my other side. So that's what I'm going to do again here. I'll show you what I mean here in just a moment. So these inch markings, I guess, if you will, are going towards the top of the page versus being this direction on the page. So and I have them going this way on both pages. So I don't even know if I just subconsciously was paying attention to that when I put those other ones down, but figured it's something that I should mention. So that way you all know which direction these things are going. Oh, hey, and I even got my drill bits going the right direction. That one I just kind of threw it on there and didn't even take a look. Okay, we are done with our 0 centering rulers. Putting mine away. And remember how I said on the other side of the page, I had another yellow. This time it's the solid yellow, whereas on the left side we have the solid blue. This one has some bricks on the opposite side of it. And this one's going this way on this page. We have these are both the 4.5 by 6.5 mats. That one has some wood on the back of it. My 4x4 Starry Night is going down here, and a journal box. This is a 4x6, and again, I just thought that you'll see when it's side by side with our title on the left with that other 4x6. Could not resist. It just, the designers really knocked it out of the park with this collection, and here we go. Get these down here. I'm going maybe 1/4 inch from the edge here. Yes, I could get out my 0 centering ruler again, but hey, you all should be proud of me. I actually had my ruler out for part of the layout, but it also goes to show that sometimes you don't need to be quite so precise and have everything just exact. Okay. That first tape always comes out so easy compared to the end of the roll, which always seems a little bit tighter, doesn't it? Okay, and this is going about, oh, look at that. I can actually look at the measurements on one of my things here. It's a little bit over 1/2 inch. So right around here-ish. How do we look? Let's see. Oh, needs to go over just a hair more, huh? All right. That actually kind of worked out nicely. Here we go. Feel pretty good about that. Yep, not bad. Look at this. See, this and this just work so well together. And this one's down here. All right. So that are our 2 pages, and I do have a little decorative element for these 2 pages, and it's going to be our enameled bits, but it's not going to be a lot of them. The silver worked better for me than the gold, I guess. Coppery, yeah, goldish with the actual tones in our layout. So I pulled out the silver part here, and I'm going to do the screwdriver one here. Actually, I think I'm going to turn it sideways for the outside. Okay, make sure I remember what I wanted to do with these things. Here we go. So we have the screwdriver and the bolt coming in from the side here, and then we're going to do the same thing at the top on the other side. And yes, I will hold them up for you to see them closer here in just a moment. I wanted to add the littler ones. Actually, I probably can add a couple of the bolts. Yep, we do, because we have two of the gold with the X on it, the hexagons, but only one of the silver ones. But we can put this little silver bolt in the middle on the opposite side. Look at that. Okay. Sometimes it comes to me while I'm putting them together. What can I say? There we go. All right. That's it. No more decoration. We have our title. We have a journal box. We have space for an extra photo here, or we can just leave it as a decorative piece through our page. But here is the left side of our page. I like those little enameled screwdriver and bolts, or nut. What is it? Nut and bolt. Maybe there's another reason why I may not be cut out for DIY. I've got to get all the lingo set here. But I guess I'm cut out for scrapbooking, so that works. All right. There is our 2-page layout for riveting. And again, you can see we took this one page and we expanded it out through the 2 pages. So that way you have your stripes and our paper running cohesively through both pages. And I remembered to pull out the index sheet for riveting. And looky here, there is no Starry Night Shimmer under our coordinating cardstocks, but we do have navy blue and platinum shimmer. But I like the Starry Night Shimmer. I think it works really well with the tones in the plaid and with the tone of the yellow. So there you go. There's one more cardstock you can add to your riveting pages. Okay, let's get our card going. One of the things I've been doing with the Sketch With Me, as well as the 101 Sketches Challenge, has been to make a card with each video here to use up some of my scraps, as well as just challenge myself a little more creatively. So we had 5 inches left on our tool page, and so I was able to get a 4 1/4 by 5 inch strip. Now our base of a card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so we would have white space at the top and the bottom. Well, turns out I had a little more of our tape measure paper as well, and that's going to cover that up. In fact, I think I'm going to turn this way so that way the lines are going towards each other, or the darker lines, and I'll hold that up so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Now, I almost feel like I should pull out my zero centering ruler again, and you can if you want, but since we're going to cover up a little bit more than this 1/4 inch at the top and bottom that we're going to have, I'm not going to worry too much about it. Make sure that your drills are going up and down, though. You gotta, the paper is directional. So these are the darker lines when I'm referring to it. It's the 1 inch lines, and that's going to be kind of going in towards each other from the top and the bottom of the page here. So I have the smaller lines at the top of the page and the bottom of the page or card. Oh my goodness. Smaller lines at the top and the bottom of the card here. See, there's there. Bottom, top. Darker lines towards the paper. And then in our sticker pack, we have this relax, I can fix it thing. So I thought, sometimes our stickers can be multifunctional. It's not so much that has to be for a DIY. It can be for, say you broke something and you can fix it, or you can buy something new to replace it. Or maybe you have a friend that you hurt their feelings or something and you need to make it up to them. You can fix things that way as well. I am pulling out my foam tape for this one instead of using the foam squares, because sometimes it eats up a little bit too many foam squares with these bigger stickers sometimes, and I just want it up through the middle here. I have my microtip scissors. They can cut through your foam tape no problem, and they have their special coating so they don't get gooped up at all. I had to cut my piece just a little bit shorter because I made it just a little bit too long, but that's okay. Just took off a little tiny piece. I can add that piece of foam tape to my foam square sheet to use another time. So sticking on my piece of foam tape to my sticker going across here, let me pull off the back side. And there's my relax, I can fix it. And how's about that? You just never know. Sometimes you hurt somebody's feelings and you don't realize it. So it doesn't always have to be something that you have to fix as far as building something, but you can do it with emotions as well. And that is it for this riveting sketch with me. Leave me a thumbs up if you liked it, or drop a comment as well. I do want to know y'all's favorite HGTV shows if you watch that network. Until next time.